Exxon makes another major oil discovery. Guyana Police Force files 60 new charges against Cuban national Yuri Garcia. 2 suspects arrested in separate cannabis raid. In the region, Peru's first poor president promises to end poverty, and internationally, Bangladesh inflation, food and commodity prices rise sharply. Greetings and welcome to another edition of Channel 2 Headline News Updates. I am Bibi Bacchus. Thank you for joining us. ExxonMobil today announced it made a discovery at Whiptail in the Stabroek Block offshore Guyana. The Whiptail 1 well found 246 feet of net pay in high-quality oil-bearing sandstone reservoirs. Drilling is also ongoing at Whiptail 2 well, which has encountered 167 feet of net pay in high-quality oil-bearing sandstone reservoirs. Drilling continues at both wells to test deeper targets. The results will be evaluated for future development. According to Mike Cousins, Senior Vice President of Exploration and New Ventures at ExxonMobil, quote, "This discovery increases our confidence in the resource size and quality in the southeast area of the Stabroek Block and could form the basics for a future development as we continue to evaluate the best sequence of development opportunities within the block." ExxonMobil envisions at least 6 projects online by 2027 and sees potentials for up to 10 projects to develop its current recoverable resource base. Minister of Natural Resources Vikram Bharat said, quote, "The government of Guyana welcomes these new discoveries offshore Guyana and reinforces its commitment to the sustainable exploration and development of Guyana's oil and gas resources. As with discoveries prior, the government of Guyana foresees this new development increasing the potential for additional floating production, storage and offloading vessels." End of quote. The Liza Destiny floating production, storage and offloading vessel is currently producing about 120,000 barrels of oil per day. The startup of Liza Phase 2 remains on target for early 2022, and the Liza Unity FPSO expects to sail from Singapore to Guyana in late August 2021. The Unity has a production capacity of approximately 220,000 barrels of oil per day. These new projects continues to contribute to the advancement of Guyanese economy. More than 2,600 Guyanese are now supporting projects' activities on and offshore, which reflects an increase of more than 20% since the end of 2019. ExxonMobil and its key contractors have spent approximately $388 million with more than 800 local companies since 2015. The Stabroek Block is 6.6 million acres. ExxonMobil affiliate Esso Exploration and Production Guyana Limited is the operator and holds 45% interest in the Stabroek Block. Hess Guyana Exploration Limited holds 30% interest, and CNOOC Petroleum Guyana Limited holds 25% interest. A consortium of local businesses aiming to construct a multi-million-dollar shore base and the terminal has been given the green light to commence construction after the Environmental Protection Agency screened their projects and found no significant risk to the environment. Works for the first phase of the project are scheduled for November 2021. According to a notice issued by the EPA, the applications for these projects were screened and it was determined that they will not significantly affect the environment. EPA also noted that minor issues can be addressed through, quote, "appropriate and practical environmental safeguards at the respective proposed location and its environment," end of quote. Based on the project documents, the project is being carried out by the NRG Group, a local consortium with a combined 100 years of experience doing business locally. Shareholders of the group include the National Hardware Limited, Heidi's World Incorporated, and ZRN Investments Incorporated. The construction of the project will be done by Jan de Nul Group, an overseas-based company with years of experience in this field. According to the documents, it is a $200 to $600 million investment that will include geotechnical and environmental studies, engineering works, dredging operations, reclamation, and the construction of a wharf, storage, warehouse, and safety facilities. It will occupy 400 hectares of coastal and nearshore land and water at Best West Bank Demerara. Approximately 150 to 200 persons will be employed during the construction, and 50 to 100 persons will be employed for the basic operation and maintenance of the base port facilities. Phase 1 of the project will see the deepening, widening and dredging of the access channel, as well as land reclamation. It also includes an offshore terminal, dry dock facility and fabrication yard spanning 65 hectares. Meanwhile, Phase 2 involves deepening and dredging of the access canal and expand reclamation. Don't go away after the break. 2 suspects arrested in separate cannabis raids and lawsuit against state dismissed.
Survival Shopping Complex brings to you its delivery service, Shop Through WhatsApp. This process is simple. All you need to do is call or message your grocery list to 613-9683 and we will select your items for you and have them delivered directly to you, even out of town. This is convenient because we can stay on the phone with you as we select your favorite brands. We're happy to do your shopping for you. Contact us on WhatsApp today and shop Price Smart at Survival Shopping Complex.
Are you looking for men's suits for that wedding, prom, or special party? Or maybe you need to update your wardrobe with a modern fit or a new color for work? Search no more, because John Lewis Styles is the perfect men's suit store. Come see us on Waterloo Street, and our friendly staff will help you choose the perfect size, color, and fit. Complement that suit with a stunning shirt and tie, matching bow tie and suspenders, cufflinks, or even a pair of shiny dress shoes. You will love the way you look. John Lewis Styles. Simply different.
When you need money and you gotta get it fast, Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop is the place for that confidential transaction in a quiet and secure location. You'll get the highest value per pennyweight for your gold and also enjoy the lowest interest rates and longest payback period too. Yes, for that instant transaction to solve a pressing financial problem. That Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, 4-6 Boyle Place, that's between the Ministry of Housing on Brickdam and White Castle Fish Shop, be your first and only choice. Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, safe and sound, solid and secure, always there for you. Telephone 231-7878 and 223-8955.
Tastes so good. It's gotta be made with Alabama Baker wheat flour. Produced from quality soft winter wheat and quality enzymes to give a superior product that's guaranteed to be luscious, delightful to taste, and stays fresher longer. Alabama Baker wheat flour is perfect for breads, roti, puri, pastries, chow mein, pastas, and many other delights. Imported and distributed by Alabama Trading. 6566 Robb Street, Borda, and 23 Lombard Street. Telephone 225-5800.
Welcome to Kissoon's Furniture. Find everything you need for your home and more under one roof in our newly decorated showroom. Our locally crafted furniture has been perfected over the last 60 years. From our hands to your home, we also bring to you our newly introduced lines of imported furniture and Sleep Center, where you can find a wide range of beds and mattresses. Kissoon's Furniture, furnishing homes for over 60 years.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny?
I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, Lot 238 South Road, Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lender's, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Welcome back. On Tuesday, Justice Narendra Singh dismissed an $80 billion lawsuit that Colwyn Harding had filed against the state for a second time and ordered him to pay costs of $1 million each to Attorney General Anil Nandlall and policeman Devin Singh. Hardin had approached the court seeking damages after being allegedly sexually assaulted with a baton while in police custody. In November of 2013, he was detained at the Temeri police station on the allegations that he had assaulted a police officer and had resisted arrest. On February 1, 2021, Justice Singh had first dismissed the case for want of prosecution. He subsequently granted an order recalling the previous order that he had made on the condition that Hardin pays $150,000 to both Attorney General Nandlal and Constable Singh on or before July 16, 2021. As these payments remain unpaid up until Tuesday's hearing, Justice Singh indicated that Hardin's actions stood dismissed, and he later awarded costs to the two respondents. A notice to withdraw and discontinue the claims were filed on July 26 by Hardin's attorney Nigel Hughes and came up for hearing on Tuesday also. During the hearing, Hughes explained that there have been difficulties contacting his client and that continuing efforts were made up until July 24th. However, Justice Singh indicated that since his court order was not complied with, the claims already stood dismissed as of the date of non-compliance. Hardin also failed to present himself for the prosecution of his claims. Two suspects were arrested in a separate cannabis raid by the Ghana Police Force this week. Esther Sobers has more.
On Monday, a police corporal and a party of police ranks on patrol duty, acting on information received, searched an apartment at Tamake Landing Mill, Mazaruni River, belonging to a 36-year-old man. During the search operation, the man was observed by officers throwing a parcel through the window. The parcel was retrieved, opened, and several leaves, seeds, and stems suspected to be cannabis were found. The suspect was told of the offense, committed, cautioned, arrested, and taken to the Enuche police station. The suspected cannabis was weighed in the presence of the suspect and amounted to 506 grams. And on Tuesday, a group of police officers from Regional Division 4C conducted a cordon and search operation at an empty lot at Britton Place, East Coast, Demerara. Several suspected packages of cannabis sativa were discovered during the search operation. The suspected narcotics were retrieved and taken to the Sparnam police station, where 439 Ziploc bags were counted and all narcotics were weighed and amounted to 1,140 grams. Investigations are in progress. For Channel 2 Headline News, Esther Sobers.
Thanks, Esther. Also on Tuesday, ranks in Berbice conducted a search operation on an empty plot in Lot Kildonan Village, Quarantine, Berbice, and found a black plastic bag containing seeds, leaves, and stems suspected to be that of cannabis, and a transparent plastic bag containing a quantity of white rock-like substance suspected to be cocaine. A search was also carried out on the person of a male suspect at his residence, where two transparent plastic bags containing seeds, leaves, and stems suspected to be cannabis were found in his yard. He was told of the offense and arrested. The suspected narcotics was weighed in his presence and amounted to 75 grams. Police also weighed the suspected narcotics found in the empty plot, and it amounted to 35 grams, and the suspected cocaine amounted to 15 grams. On Tuesday, the Ghana Police Force filed 60 new charges against Cuban national Yuri Garcia and his Guyanese wife, Atika Ishmael, for the offense of conspiracy to defraud allegedly committed on victims of a Ponzi scheme. Both suspects failed to appear at the Sparnam Magistrates Court today to answer to the charges. Their attorney, Dexter Todd, produced two medical certificates on their behalf to the police investigators, which purported to show that they both have been tested positive for the COVID-19 virus. However, a perusal of the medical certificates by investigators has raised the suspicion that they may be bogus documents. Consequently, the police have launched an investigation to determine the authenticity of the medical certificates. Don't go away after the break. Peru's first poor president promises to end poverty, and Chinese officials and Taliban's meet in sign of warning ties. But before that, here's the bridge retraction schedule.
problem, Granny?
I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, lot 238 South Road, Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lender's, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Welcome to Kissoon's Furniture. Find everything you need for your home and more under one roof in our newly decorated showroom. Our locally crafted furniture has been perfected over the last 60 years. From our hands to your home, we also bring to you our newly introduced lines of imported furniture and Sleep Center, where you can find a wide range of beds and mattresses. Kissoon's Furniture, furnishing homes for over 60 years.
For decades, milk has remained the same. Until now. Introducing the Great Dairy Full Cream Milk from Alabama Trading. Enriched with vitamins A to D and calcium to promote healthy teeth, strong bones, and vitality. Great Dairy Milk is delicious and fortified to encourage healthy cell growth within the body. No wonder it's the #1 brand of milk produced in Ireland. Now available nationwide in 400-gram packages at leading supermarkets and wholesale vendors. Distributed by Alabama Trading.
When you need money and you gotta get it fast, Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop is the place for that confidential transaction in a quiet and secure location. You'll get the highest value per pennyweight for your gold and also enjoy the lowest interest rates and longest payback period too. Yes, for that instant transaction to solve a pressing financial problem. That Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, 46 Boyle Place, that's between the Ministry of Housing on Brickdam and White Castle Fish Shop. Be your first and only choice. Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, safe and sound, solid and secure, always there for you. Telephone 231-7878 and 223-8955.
Survival Shopping Complex brings to you its delivery service, Shop Through WhatsApp. This process is simple. All you need to do is call or message your grocery list to 613-9683 and we will select your items for you and have them delivered directly to you, even out of town. This is convenient because we can stay on the phone with you as we select your favorite brands. We're happy to do your shopping for you. Contact us on WhatsApp today and shop Price Smart at Survival Shopping Complex.
Are you looking for men's suits for that wedding, prom, or special party? Or maybe you need to update your wardrobe with a modern fit or a new color for work. Simply different.
Welcome back. Now we take a look at news in the region and around the world. Peru is celebrating 200 years of independence with a change of power and a new president who, like millions of Peruvians, grew up in poverty. From being almost unknown, Pedro Castillo rose to the presidency, offering change for millions of poor Peruvians. And while many hope he delivers on his promises, some are wary that he will. Al Jazeera's Marina Sanchez reports.
200 years as a republic. On Wednesday, Peru commemorates a landmark anniversary, the independence from the Spanish colonialists. Now for the first time, a farmer and rural primary school teacher takes over the presidency. Pedro Castillo comes from one of the poorest districts of Peru. Many Peruvians say they feel represented, but Jessica Laguna says her community on the outskirts of the capital, Lima, has little to celebrate.
The Republic is 200 years old, but there's inequality everywhere. We're rolling in the same mud and we can't escape. We wish our children could have it better, but we always have needs and there's no work. We wish for change, but we can't do better.
They claim the state has forgotten the poor. Members of this community build the roads themselves. They raise animals and eat together in a communal kitchen. Many families here at the Alto Retamal community live on less than $8 a day. Millions like them have come from remote places. For decades, people have been migrating from the Andes to the capital looking for a better life, and they ended up living in shanty towns where they continue to live in poverty. Margarita Alcagua says she doesn't have any hope that the new president will bring change.
My grandparents, my parents, we've always been poor. I was brought here as a child to escape poverty, and look, we the poor will always be poor. No one remembers us.
President Pedro Castillo has promised that there will not be any more poor in a rich country, but analysts say the road for him will be uphill and tough.
200 años.
In 200 years we have learned to survive rather than to live. Our hardships are severe. We have gone from being one of the countries with the highest level of development to where we are now, at the end of the scale.
From being almost unknown, Pedro Castillo rose to the presidency, offering change for millions of poor Peruvians. And while many hope he delivers on his promises, many are wary that he will. Mariana Sanchez, Al Jazeera, Lima, Peru.
Internationally, Afghan President Ashraf Ghani has been giving a policy speech on the future direction of the country. Ghani's address comes as Taliban continues to take gains across Afghanistan. Al Jazeera's Charlotte Bellis reports.
The northern city of Taloqan is surrounded by Taliban fighters. For more than 1 month, its people have withstood waves of attacks. Residents, now armed, and Afghan security forces are united in trying to keep fighters out of the city.
I hope I'm not captured. We've been attacked more than 10 times here. We've beaten them and pushed them back. Don't lose your morale.
The Taliban now controls large areas of rural Afghanistan, including more than half of the country's districts. As Afghan security forces attempt to slow the Taliban's momentum, in a nationally televised address, President Ghani had a message of diplomacy.
We've articulated a widely supported program for a bridge from an all-out war to a just and lasting peace through a political settlement. We do not see a military solution. We firmly believe in a political solution.
Ghani, the former finance minister and a former World Bank economist, spoke extensively about the economy, less about the war that's ravaging his country. About a third of the government's revenue comes through border crossings. It has lost more than $33 million in the past month after the Taliban seized 7 crossings. The largest is here in Spin Boldak. After 2 weeks, it has just reopened to trade.
Naturally, we are scared because conditions are bad. We are afraid of going into Afghanistan, but there is no other way out for us. There are no other jobs for us here in the border region.
2 hours away in Kandahar city, residents have had enough. There has been fighting and airstrikes on the city's outskirts in the last week. These people were demanding both sides agree to a ceasefire. The growing insecurity is leading to an increase in the number of Afghans who are leaving the country. The UN says 20 to 30,000 are fleeing every week. There are also thousands of Afghans who worked with the US government who are waiting to hear if they will be on evacuation flights in the coming days. Charlotte Bellis, Al Jazeera, Kabul.
And finally, Bangladesh is battling not just the coronavirus pandemic, but soaring inflation rates too. Market experts says soaring inflation along with rising food prices in Bangladesh in recent months has put an additional burden on low and middle income households. Al Jazeera's Tanveer Chowdhury has more.
Karan Bazaar is one of the busiest open-air kitchen markets in Dhaka. But there are hardly any shoppers on this day because of a nationwide lockdown to prevent COVID-19. Mariam Begum is among the few who came out for groceries, but finds food items are more expensive than usual.
I came out to buy some green vegetables, but prices of everything has gone up in the market. Maybe it's due to the lockdown or because there are not enough buyers. But logistics and supplies are open, not sure why.
Market experts say soaring inflation, along with rising food prices in Bangladesh in recent months, have put an additional burden on low and middle income households. Many here have lost their jobs or other sources of income during the coronavirus pandemic.
All the essential food items prices are getting high, but in comparison, people's income has not risen. So it's becoming hard for middle-class families like ours to cope with. It would be good if the government intervenes to stabilize the market.
According to data from government agency, nearly all types of daily commodities are now being sold at higher prices compared to the same period last year. Rice and lentil, two of the most basic food staples for most Bangladeshis. In recent months, prices of many food essentials have gone up, making it increasingly hard for people to make ends meet. The government has announced a number of stimulus packages for different sectors and beneficiaries during this health crisis, but not everyone is getting the help they need.
It's very hard on the daily wage earners. They're not able to earn enough money or get a full square meal, but it's the middle class who's suffering the most. Many are not able to go to work. They are also embarrassed to seek help. They're not getting any kind of help. Many are suffering quietly at home.
Some here believe hoarding of goods and manipulation of the market might be creating an artificial crisis.
We think one of the main reasons for the price hike is the desire to make an unreasonable profit by vested business interest groups and lack of proper regulation and monitoring by the government, and their businesses' open access to manipulate the market.
Despite the pandemic, Bangladesh's economy continues to grow by more than 5%. But analysts warn the rising inflation and growing food prices could hamper economic recovery and possibly lead to food shortages in a country already hit by severe weather and pandemic-related disruptions. Tanvir Chaudhry, Al Jazeera, Dhaka.
And that is it for today's regional and international news. Here now is your 3-day weather forecast. That is all for this edition of Channel 2 Headline News Updates. Tune in on Thursday at 7 p.m. for another episode. Be sure to subscribe, like and follow us on Facebook and YouTube. Until then, stay safe and take care.